Today I'm watching Yellowjackets Season 2, Episode 9. It is the Season 2 finale. I'm very, very curious and nervous going into this to see what questions will be answered, what they're going to keep for Season 3. I know there's an episode that'll be out in between the ending of Season 2 and the start of Season 3. I don't know when that is, but it makes me nervous thinking that there's some kind of cliffhanger or some kind of problem that they're going to need to solve before Season 3 comes out. I can't see it being like a holiday episode or something like that. I know shows have done, things like that before. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how this season will come to an end. I still like Season 1 better, but it's been interesting to see the progression of the story. And, this season we really got into the depths of winter and them struggling a lot with survival and not getting over the initial shock of the plane crash, but now they've had to switch, very much into survival mode and, okay, what are we going to do while we're out here, and the decisions that they've made along the way, and to see that compared to the adult versions. We had some new cast members this season as well, which were great, and I love Elijah Wood. Lauren Ambrose have been so good, and very curious to see what's going to happen with Lottie's suggestion that one of them basically unalives themselves by drinking this poison cup. We lost Javi in the previous episode. They don't know that Van has cancer, but definitely a lot of secrets came out in the previous episode. Natalie, saved herself while they all picked cards to see who would be next to be killed and eaten, basically, and let Javi, die and drown so that she could live. So yeah, it was a tough last episode for sure. And like I said, I'm very nervous going into this, but thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
Natalie!
It's not going to be happiness in a moment, but when you realize what happened, why she's standing there, because someone else isn't.
The wilderness shows.
They're all on board now. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't believe it. And they're all so numb to it. They're like, okay, well, not us, so don't really care. Which is horrible.
The way we used to. We should give it a hunt. Oh, wow.
Shauna's way too quick to be on board with this.
It's still in us.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course Shauna's on board for this, because she's nuts.
Anyone who felt this way.
Or she's just giving Lottie what she wants. Ah!
Sure that they all stay away. The woods will be ours. Tonight.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yep, give in to the crazy, tell her what she wants, and then run for your lives.
Is that difficult to have her committed again?
That's it. She's a danger to herself and others. We just keep it calm and discreet.
How quick they turn on each other.
Yeah, except we got over it. She thinks it's talking to her again. Have you all forgotten where that leads?
You're not over it. There's no way any of you are over it. It's with you every day. Come on. I don't like this.
Why was Travis screaming?
And it's interesting how they basically put Lottie above the rest of them and not let her just die of her injuries or unalived her.
We're going to eat Javi.
Yep, that's happening. Yeah, she was the one who was in a bad situation, but they decided to pick one of themselves instead of letting her unalive.
Lottie.
You started this.
Yeah, she's got a point there.
So you better not start making people feel bad about it now.
I don't think Lottie meant when she volunteered to get the crap beat out of her that this would be the end result. Definitely not. But yeah, they obviously value Lottie more than they value any of themselves for her connection to the wilderness, leadership, whatever it is. Could you imagine, like, just looking behind you and seeing everybody waiting, being like, hey, your holding up lunch, bud. Oh my god, so messed up. Yeah, they've got a process down now, as terrifying as it is. Oh my gosh, poor Javi. Yeah, Shauna doesn't want to look at him, obviously. Oh my gosh. This poor kid. I mean, they're all gonna... We see how messed up they are after this. Yeah, she can't look. Aww. Did he come to help her after he talked to the police or before? I don't trust him. Oh, God! Ugh. Or was it dull? I didn't see any blood. She's dulling the knives.
Mom has a gun?
No, it wasn't hers. She just took it off this carjacker. She doesn't have it anymore. I made her leave.
Callie's like, every day, new things. I'm finding out a lot of things.
You don't have to be one of these people. Just go, okay?
I like how Natalie's trying to protect her and, like, look out for her. And obviously things are gonna get crazy and everybody has to leave, but... Oh, and Coach has been gone this whole time, so he has no idea what's going on, and he's walking back into this!
Where Javi was hiding. All right, I think that you and I together could probably survive the winter.
Just the two of them? No one else invited?
You're a good person, Coach. You really don't belong in this place.
Coach thinking Natalie was the only one worth saving and saying, you know, we can go to this place and survive.
Let your brother save you, Travis.
He can't eat his own brother. That's... I know you're starving, but that's so weird.
How did she get in here?
Threatening him with a whisk. So brave.
No, she's not the only one. There's practically a coven of them. All up to no good.
I don't trust Walter. Not one bit. He's flipping sides.
I want you to place me under arrest. What? I did it.
No one believes you, Jeff. No, you didn't. Good try, but no one believes you.
I did it to protect her. I did it to protect our family.
I knew the hot chocolate was gonna be spiked.
Kevin? Oh, Kevin.
You can't trust Walter! Hot cocoa, it's too good, man.
Hiya. Me again.
I did.
Phenobarbital.
Misty and Walter are a literal match made in psychotic hell.
Walter Tattersall, a friend of Misty's. Oh, it's okay if you haven't.
Murderer? We might not have met before.
People?
Oh, no. You want to help me move this body?
What?
Jeffrey. Does anyone call you that?
Full name basis right now, Walter. My mom.
And everything's gonna be fine. I just need your help now. So, grab those legs for me. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Just so calm and casual and like, yep, you know, I just murdered this guy with some delicious hot cocoa, but, you know, let's just get the body going. Let's, you know, move on to the next steps of this horrible process. Oh my god. I don't think Coach is gonna make it alone in that cave, man. It's not gonna end well. With the heart, like, decoratively placed in the middle? Come on. Shauna is a skilled butcher, I'll give her that. Terrifying situation, though. Oh, God. Oh, my God. That's unpleasant. I know they're starving. Just the symbolism of literally eating your brother's heart. And he's like crying. Oh my god, poor Travis. I mean, I guess you wouldn't want someone else to eat it. I don't know. There's no right answer here. Oh my god.
Though they locked their comfort
I think they're gonna kill Lottie. I don't know, but I think, you know, she's spearheading this crazy man campaign, so I feel like that's what they're gonna do. I don't think it's what they want to do, but they know that bringing her to an institution will just delay this cycle, so I'm very worried, but I feel like that might be the direction they're heading in. It's terrifying to see them participate in this hunting ritual as adults. Terrifying. Callie. Oh, no, 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 no.
How's it going? You okay?
I don't like where this is gonna go.
Hello.
Shauna said that. No.
Kevin, what?
We know it's not the other police officer, so who's calling him? Oh, here we go.
Hey, Lottie, can we talk about this?
Shauna's gonna take the card out, isn't she? Yeah. Just the look of, like, sheer terror on their face when they realize that they've survived another round. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're gonna run out of cards and realize what they did. Or Shauna? Shauna picked it? No.
Hey. Come on.
Nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel. No, no thank you. Fun and games stops a long time ago.
You can submit, or you can run.
You want to surrender and die, or run for your life? Oh my god, and terrifying that they just had these masks also at the ready.
It was just us!
Is there a difference?
That's so messed up. Yeah, exactly. They've been blaming it on this wilderness the whole time.
Your choice.
Oh, cough.
Run! Run. Yeah, they're gonna chase you, so you better run.
When the police dig in, they'll discover a wealth of bank and phone evidence connecting your partner here, not only to the murder of Adam Martin, the investigation of which...
Whoa!
It's easy to see why Kevin here would stop at nothing to prevent this from coming out. You'll be a real hero to the community.
Jessica and Adam's death. Wow, 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 wow. Do you let your buddy take the fall for it, even though you know he didn't do for it, or do you take the fall for it? It's very kind of you, Walter, so considerate.
What do we hear?
Oh, here we go again. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, is Lottie actually crazy? You know, there's no such thing as it. Is the wilderness actually constructing something, or is it just all in their imaginations, hallucinations, starvation? Like, very interesting.
So, one day, the wilderness built a house. It waited.
Coach is stealing their axe, rope, and matches. Oh, basically condemning them.
Maybe what it wants for us now is a leader who can help us survive for the rest of the time we're out here.
Antler Queen, is that where we're going? Yeah, Lottie's always been their unelected leader so far.
Natalie.
Oh, Natalie's the Antler Queen? What? Because she let Javi die and they all got to eat?
It was in you, even when you denied it, especially then. You were always its favorite.
Why can't you ever stop?
Oh, no. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Yeah, Coach is like, well, there goes the one person I thought still had some sanity left, and now they're all on the crazy train. And it's not the... Yeah, you could go either way. The wilderness chose them, or was it just a coincidence that Javi stepped on the thin ice, you know? And now they're all like paying their respects to their new queen. Oh my gosh. Curtsies. She just curtsied in front of her, like literal royalty. Misty! What? What's happening? All these flashes. Misty, what are you gonna do? Natalie just jumped in to save Lisa.
No, Natalie.
Because Misty was gonna kill her. Oh, no, Natalie! I love Natalie's character. Oh, no, no. And of course she's on a plane. It's this horrible purgatory situation. No, Natalie. No, 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 no. We can't end the season like this. Come on. Frickin' Misty. She just always has to have poison on her because she's a frickin' psychopath. I can only assume there's deadly poison in that. This isn't like a situation she can come back from. No, Natalie.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Travis, and Javi.
No. I'm not supposed to be here.
No, we can't end it like this. Come on.
Just let it in.
What does that even mean? Just like give into it? Come on, Lottie. And the fact that they're citing it as a drug overdose, which obviously she was poisoned, but she was clean and it stopped doing drugs, and that's gonna be how she's remembered.
Walter. He killed my best friend.
Yep, and you didn't have many of them, buddy. You definitely didn't have many of them. Oh, Misty.
We gave it what it wanted.
Yeah, it's just further enforcing Lottie's belief that the wilderness wanted this. And it sounded more and more like Crazy Town. That's definitely not how I thought this was gonna end, I'm not gonna lie. Frick, I really like Natalie's character. Frick. And she was just, I should have known. She was just, finding peace and, was starting to do okay, and this happens. Oh, I thought Coach was taking the supplies. He's gonna burn them alive from the inside. He set the cabin on fire, didn't he? Oh, no. He thinks they're all horrible. Yep. Oh, my God. It's gotta be Coach. Who else could it be? Coach. Travis, maybe? I don't know. Coach locked them in. Holy sugar cookies. How are they gonna get out? Go! They won't survive long without the cabin. That was their main source of, shelter. Yeah, take the supplies, but it's not gonna be much. Oh my God, just when I thought we had reached the craziest part of the episode. They have to watch their only home burn to the ground. Oh, no. Well, I guess we're getting some new sets in season 3, because the cabin's gone. If things weren't bleak and hopeless before, they sure as now. Oh my god. Yep. You're effed. What are the chances they're gonna stumble upon another, cabin that can let them through the winter? Not likely. Oh my god. Coach! Who else could it be, They're gonna burn down the whole forest at this rate. Oh my god. Of course, this song is playing. So that was my first time watching Yellowjackets Season 2, Episode 9, the Season 2 finale. A lot happened, and I know I'm extra curious to see when this random one episode will drop, if it's going to be kind of halfway between when Season 2 ended to when Season 3 is going to start. I have no idea. Obviously, there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered. They did answer some, but definitely not all of them, which I'm not surprised about. I thought if we were gonna lose a character, it would have been Van because, she had mentioned she's sick, and it definitely did not go the direction I had anticipated. Some big moments for characters in this episode, and some decisions were made that can't be taken back, and I'm devastated that Natalie won't be joining us for Season 3. Obviously, we'll still have the flashbacks from teenager Natalie, and she's, taken on this new role as their leader, so it's very interesting to see the juxtaposition of that as adult Natalie is unalived at just as the same time as teenage Natalie, is coming into this leadership role and being in charge of everybody, and they're literally bowing to her like royalty. And I feel like Natalie's character had just gotten to a place of somewhat peace and calm and acceptance. And, even her talking to Lisa saying like, you try to teach me forgiveness. That's a really nice concept. It's a nice idea. And I don't think Natalie was ever going to fully get over what happened in the wilderness, but she seemed like she was doing okay. I'm not going to say good. She was doing okay. And I think for her, that was a big step considering where we started with her character and the fact that she felt so guilty about, I don't even want to say being selfish, but choosing to save herself and not become the sacrifice and choosing to let Javi die, and then to see that come full circle and sacrificing herself to save Lisa, who she's known like a couple of weeks, it's not like they've been friends for like 30 years or something like that, and they obviously had this bond, they had this connection, and to see Natalie step in, and maybe she didn't know it was poison, she just knew Misty was going to hurt Lisa in some way, and Natalie obviously didn't want that to happen and intervenes and ends up dying in the process, which was heartbreaking. And the fact that they're saying it's a drug dose, which I get why the group would say that, because they don't want to say Misty did it, which again, they should say that Misty killed her because she did. And now they're protecting Misty because Misty knows way too much for them to turn on Misty now. They're like trauma bonded together because they all know Misty's the one who killed Natalie. Not intentionally, but she was going to kill Lisa and would have been fine with it. And now Misty has actually killed her, probably one of her only friends. I don't know that Natalie was really, particularly close with Misty because Misty is a freaking psychopath and a murderer, but the fact that Misty actually broke down and cried and actually felt guilty for hurting somebody because, Misty will kill people left, right, and center, except for these, 4 or 5 people, basically. And this just happened to be within her group. Everybody else she doesn't give a crap about, but the fact that she hurt the person she was trying to protect. And even this whole season, Misty's been looking for Natalie. Natalie is kidnapped at the end of the last season, taken to this cult. And Misty and Walter, go on this crusade to try and track her down, and then ends up finding her, in the last few episodes, and unintentionally kills her. And it was just such a chaotic scene. There were so many things happening, and I was like, there's so many opportunities for things to go wrong, and I did not think it would be Misty, which I should have, because she obviously has a track record of being insane. And Callie having that gun, I was very worried about that, and Lisa showing up with a gun, lots of pieces, lots of elements, and Lisa, kind of overhearing what they were talking about, Callie realizing that they're literally hunting her mom with these masks on, which is, I can't even imagine how terrifying that's going to be for Callie. And was Kelly gonna shoot Jay also? Like, she had, it pulled back, she was getting ready, and Jay leaves, and his life is spared, yes, but his life is also forever changed now because he threw Kevin under the bus because that's what Walter told him to do, basically. And freaking Walter, this loose cannon, I should have known. Anybody who's that close with Misty, and clearly they have a lot in common, and it's terrifying, and it goes beyond, their same nighttime routine. Obviously they're both fine with killing people, as Walter kills Kevin right in front of Jeff with this hot cocoa and is like, hey Jeff, nice to meet you, don't worry, we'll just take care of this and then we can go. I was smiling, even so messed up, and poor Jeff's just what have I gotten myself into, and who the heck is this guy? And yeah, I mean, the thing I thought we'd be focusing the most on this episode was the Adam situation, and Walter just took care of that completely, and it wasn't even it was happening, but it in no way was the main focus of this episode. And, he takes out the police officer, frames Kevin for the murders of Adam, and frames Kevin for the murder of Jessica. He's well, let's just throw this on there too. Why not? He's dead. He won't know. Oh my God, Walter, you're just the worst. And that shot where you have, they opens the trunk and he takes Jay's gun and he's okay, you have a few options here. You can decide I can put the banking information in your name or I could keep it in Kevin's. And then Jay has to mentally go through the process of knowing he is letting Kevin go to his grave with these crimes that he didn't commit, because Walter's undying, affection for Misty isn't going to let her take the fall, because these two are now horribly teamed up together and are going to just who knows? Maybe by season 3 there'll be no one left. I have no idea. Maybe they'll just kill everybody. Who knows? They're just this horrible crime spree and covering up each other's tracks. I thought for a moment it might go the other way, where Walter might contact the police to turn in Misty because they obviously hadn't been in contact. I thought, okay, maybe he's upset that she doesn't feel the same way, or that she, wants to focus on her friends and not him. Who knows? I thought, okay, maybe he's upset about that and is going to say, forget you and turn her in. But nope, just the opposite. He decides, oh, I better go protect Misty. The same way Misty has the mentality that it's okay to get away with literal murder as long as you're protecting your friends. Walter is obviously of the same mindset. Callie had a heck of an episode, obviously seeing her mom being chased like that and finding out, recently about this brother that she would have had, and just so much. Her and Jeff possibly planning about running away because they don't want Shauna to go to jail. And yeah, now Shauna is not going to jail. She also got away with murder because Walter took care of that situation. So yeah, it's very disturbing what's going on and all these things that they're getting away from. And I'm curious to see if we'll ever see the characters be held accountable for their crimes. For me, this episode put Lottie into more of a, mental illness situation, and the thing in the wilderness, is that real? Is it not real? They did a good job of playing it that, okay, maybe Lottie was imagining it the whole time. They said they all felt things, but again, how can you trust what you were feeling when you're in survival mode, for months and months and months on end, starving, hallucinating, all of these things would play a toll on your mental health and your psyche. And this feeling you had, was it actually something from the wilderness, or was it just your human body's natural response to the situation, this fight or flight? And yeah, so it's interesting how they put those two together and give the audience kind of their own option to decide. The end of this episode definitely made it seem like Lottie is more towards, she's unwell, and it puts her friends in this situation and makes them do this to each other. Lottie's the one who wanted this in the first place, and they all went along with it just because they thought, if we can have some kind of control in the situation, or who knows what she's going to do. And the fact that Van called off, this psych ward that they had called, and if they had showed up, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Who knows? I'm sure they're going to be replaying the situation over and over and trying to think of different ways to have a different outcome so that Natalie would be alive. Honestly, I thought they were going to try and kill Lottie, because when they called up the psych ward, I was like, okay, they're going to take things into their own hands, and they mean that literally, and try and unalive her in the woods. And I definitely thought that Shauna pulled the card out when Lottie and Ty were talking. So I was like, okay, Ty's trying to distract her. Shauna's shuffling the cards. I thought maybe she'd do a, quick slip of the hand and take the card out, but obviously not. And of course, Shauna's the one who ends up pulling that card and has to run for her life, and is in disbelief at first, obviously, because your adult friends are putting on masks, running after you. they're not starving anymore. They have access to all the food in the world at this place and, shelter, and they're not stranded. Like, this isn't survival mode. This is Lottie's mental whatever space now being convinced that the wilderness needs this and that they have to do this because all of their lives are in disarray. And you see her like rationalizing it to herself at the end, like, well, this happened to you and you were brought here because of this and this and this. And it's like, okay, well, maybe those are just coincidences. Maybe that's just real life. Maybe that's just, being an adult. There's so many ways to explain it, but Lottie is fully convinced that this is the wilderness. And even at the end, she's like, well, the wilderness got what it wanted. And it's just adding more fuel to that fire, saying like, okay, well, if the wilderness didn't want Natalie to die, she wouldn't have died. And just, passing up any kind of responsibility into this wilderness sphere. We had the heartbreaking scene of Javi, them, burning him, eating him, just heartbreaking and such a tough scene to watch. And even Shauna, she's the unappointed one, who has the knife and has to do all this stuff because nobody else is going to, and it's definitely getting to her. And she just puts her scarf down over her eyes so that she doesn't have to see, and they turn Javi's head away. And to hear Van say like she doesn't feel guilty because she knows that this is a necessary thing, or she thinks this is a necessary thing, and doesn't want to feel guilty about it. And it's just so tough to see. And poor Travis, and I didn't think he would actually partake because obviously it's his brother and he didn't know what happened, and he's only hearing secondhand what happened to Javi. So there was probably some mistrust there as well, but to see him take a bite out of Javi's heart and put it in the pan, and that kind of symbols to everybody like, okay, let's eat. Like, oh my God, I there's so many words to describe how horrible this situation is going, and they're all on board now. And when Coach offers Natalie, this cave hideout because he thinks she's the only good person left, he has no idea what just happened between Javi and Natalie. So he's like, hey, it's just you and me, we can go hide out. And I don't think Coach is going to make it in that cave alone. He is obviously still injured. It's a lot of effort for him to take the crutches in and out of the cave. And he has to be the one that set the cabin on fire. He's the only one not in the picture while they're all scrambling around. And Shauna ends up being the one to save everybody because she's awake in the attic, writing in her journal, basically saying that she wishes she had been, appointed leader by Lottie, and that she thinks Natalie's the one making her invisible now, and that she blamed Jackie for that. But, Shauna leads everybody out in tie, and they get everybody outside just as this, cabin, this safe space they've had burns to the ground. And the doors were locked. Like, this wasn't an accidental fire. When I saw Coach take those supplies, I thought, okay, he's going to say, forget you guys, I'm going to go hide out in the cave. I need these supplies. We saw him trying to make fire earlier. It wasn't going well, so I was like, okay, he's, doing his own thing now. But nope, he decided that he is judge, jury, and executioner, and that they're all horrible people now, and that they all need to die, and he locks them in the cabin and sets them on fire. And maybe his mentality was, okay, they'll get out, but now you're condemning them to the elements. They've got no shelter, no supplies, no fuel, like there's nothing. They can't take the wood from the cabin and build, like there's going to be nothing left. If the whole forest doesn't start on fire also, like their only hope that they had just burned to the grounds in front of them, and it was already such a bleak situation. But I'm very curious to see the next episode, the next season, when they figure out that it was in fact Coach, because who else could it be? I'm trying to rack my brain, but please no spoilers, but that's definitely my guess. To lock them all in like that, and there was multiple fires starting in multiple places, like everybody was asleep. Again, I would find it very, very hard to believe that this was accidental, that somehow the door locked itself. And I know Misty's a psycho, but she was inside, and she was asleep. I think if she had been the one to start it, she would have been, half awake, half asleep, so she could be the hero to lead people outside. She wants that moment. If she dies in the fire, she doesn't get her moment in the sun. So yeah, it's just to see how far Coach has come, and that the fact that he feels like he's the only good person left. But I don't know you can call somebody a good person when they lock in other people in a cabin and set them on fire. No matter what they've done, that's a very bold move. And yeah, I'm terrified to see the fate of Coach's, character in the next season. I feel like he'll be next for lunch, because if they do find him and they've put it together that he's the one who did it, yeah, there's not going to be a lot of time left for him. And he was already not doing great, and I don't think his chances of surviving on his own are going to go well. Jeff confessing to killing Adam, I was not expecting that, and I didn't think Kevin would believe him, but he seemed to believe him because there was so much stuff stacked against Shauna. Why would he suddenly believe this, confession out of nowhere? So that was interesting, and you could definitely tell that Jeff really loves Shauna, and even Walter says that came from a place of real love, and he knows, he's at the end of his rope, and Jeff knows there's no other options, basically. He can't run, he doesn't want to do that to Callie, he doesn't want to lose Shauna, so, he sacrifices himself, saying, it was me, and just like that, Kevin, of course, is unalived, thanks to Walter. To have Natalie's last moments as she's, fading in and out between life and death on a plane. Obviously, the symbolism of that is very strong, and we hear Lottie's voice, we hear Javi, we hear, teenage Natalie, which was very bizarre to see the two of them side by side, and Lottie basically saying, it's okay, just give in, just surrender, and Natalie saying she doesn't want to go, this isn't her time, and it was just such a tough scene to watch, and the whole plane is empty, and it's just Natalie. And then these other characters show up, so yeah, of course it would have to be on a plane, and she's, dressed differently. She's dressed, not in purple like we see her, in the current situation, and Misty breaking down. It was such a tough scene to watch, and I'm sure Misty feels guilty, and maybe this will change her character. I doubt it, but maybe this will make her reflect on her choices. And she openly admits to killing the reporter, and her friends are kind of what? Murder is becoming very, very common in this show, and nobody seems to be that upset about it. And in the wilderness, I feel like there's no time to grieve because they have other bigger things to worry about, like surviving, and it doesn't seem like they really processed that when they came back, and they're still kind of in that frozen state of not really, being upset. Obviously they questioned Misty's actions, but nobody was oh my god, we have to call the police. They're all just kind of okay. Overall, it was an intense season finale. I'm devastated that Natalie's character is gone, and at least we'll still get to see her in the wilderness as she's, this new leadership role, and to hear Lottie say that she didn't want to be a leader, that the wilderness was the only one talking to her, but now the wilderness is talking to everybody, and, Natalie is the one who provided Javi, basically, so now Natalie gets to be in charge. Very worried to see where that's going to go. I feel like there's still a lot of dark things that are going to happen, and I'm terrified. Obviously, Lottie was shot in this episode as well, and they made it sound like she's going to the hospital. I don't know if she's actually going to go to a psych ward, but they're at least getting, her the medical attention that she needs right now. Shauna is off the hook for, Adam. Walter made sure of that, and Coach set everybody on fire in this cabin, so where are they gonna go? Definitely some new sets, I guess, will be needed for this new season, as it's still winter. They still need a place to hide out, so what's that gonna look like? And honestly, when Shauna got up so suddenly, I thought, oh, are they being rescued? Is this the moment where they get rescued? But nope, of course not. We still have months and months to go. I really enjoyed the addition of the new cast and characters, and getting to see adult Lottie and adult Van, and I'm devastated we lost Javi in this season as well, and he just came back. Walter obviously had a huge part to play in all of this, as he's, just as messed up as Misty, so I'm curious to see if his character will be in the next season as well. It's definitely going to be a long wait to season 3. I wish I could watch it right now, but I'm guessing it'll probably be about a year before it comes out, and I'll be anxiously waiting, this release of this one episode. I hope it's an hour-and-a-half episode, something like that, but just a crazy show, a crazy season finale. We still have so many questions that aren't answered. Ty has still got this dual personality. Maybe she just has split personality disorder. Who knows? Maybe Lottie just has mental illness. Who knows? Shauna definitely wants to hurt people, and that's terrifying, and she's getting away with it, and we still don't know who the man with no eyes is. So yeah, lots of pieces. Simone is still in the hospital, which Ty did not seem concerned about. We haven't seen Simone in 4 episodes. Just an intense, crazy show, and yeah, I'm very nervous and anxious to see what will be in store for season 3, but thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below, and as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Given to the crazy, tell her what she wants. Threatening him with a whisk. Hot cocoa, it's too good, man. With the heart, like, decoratively placed in the middle. It's terrifying to see them participate in this hunting ritual as adults. And now they're all, like, paying their respects to their new queen. She just always has to have poison on her because she's a freaking psychopath.